What is up, everyone? All right, today, monthly wrap-up for January and TBR for February. I didn't do a great job with my TBR for January, so we might see a few books repeated on the list. But anyway, here we go. So my Discord, we buddy read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson in January. I did a full review of Skyward. I liked it a lot. It was a very fun YA series where you follow this character named Spencer who wants to become a pilot and fight these evil Krell. And yeah, it's just a fun read. So anyway, we're reading the second book this month in February, so you can definitely join that if you would like. And overall, book one got a good reaction, and I'm hoping book two gets a good reaction from everyone as well. Also, pick for February for my Discord, it is Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. My friend Charmaine recommended this to me in like October or November or something. Charmaine says great things about this. Library of Alexandria says great things about this. And basically, I don't really know much about this, but it follows this man who lost his wife in a tower or something, and the man has to go find his wife in a tower, and he has to go up floors, and every floor has like different magical things, like kind of obstacles to overcome, or that's how I'm interpreting it, but no idea. And this man's name is Senlin, and everyone compares Alan to Senlin, and whenever Senlin says something, I'll just picture Alan saying that thing, so yeah, that's great. My nonfiction book of the month for January was Malcolm X's Autobiography as told by Alex Haley. Alex Haley was a personal friend of Malcolm, and Malcolm obviously was assassinated, so he couldn't really finish his own autobiography, and I heard so many good things about this for years. Michael Brooks, who is a political commentator who unfortunately passed away last year, they were doing like a tribute show for him, and his family said the first book he read was Malcolm X's Autobiography. So as I was reading this book, I was just like thinking of like a 6-year-old Michael Brooks reading this book and doing like a Nation of Islam Obama impression.
It's not enough to hate the white man. You need to know how to take over his businesses, throw him out of his homes,
right,
defile his daughters,
right,
and destroy his religion.
Right.
We can stand here and we can listen to Brand Nubian, and we can listen to the brother minister preach. But if we don't burn down Whitey's home, we don't terrorize Whitey on the street, then we're not going to have the results that we fundamentally want to see.
That's right.
Allah Akbar.
But yeah, this was amazing. I did a full review of this. This book talks about race, religion. I learned about the Nation of Islam, which has nothing to do with like actual Islam. It was very good overall. It was very good to see Malcolm grow and evolve as the story went on. Usually I'm not like a huge fan of autobiographies, but Malcolm's just phenomenal at integrating actual things that are going on in the world with his life, with frustrations with the system. And yeah, just watch my full review. I feel like I've talked enough. Next, Naomi Klein's The Shock Doctrine. This will be the nonfiction book I read and talk about in February. And yeah, Naomi Klein's great. I read No Logo last year. I don't know how many other people are reading this with me, but I put my notes and my thoughts in my Discord as I go through these books. Or I hope people enjoy it, even if they don't respond. If you don't enjoy it, you could just mute the Shock Doctrine section, and you just won't get any notifications for it. I sometimes use my Discord as like my own journal, but everyone can read it, so it's like the least private journal ever. Anyway, it should be a bunch of fun. So that was my Discord stuff. Next we've got The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson, which I read in January as well with David's book reviews. We DM'd on Discord about this book, and this is kind of like a young adult mystery in a fantasy world. And yeah, we both liked it quite a bit. We sent each other clips, and we added our clips to each other's videos. That was me and David's book reviews, which I'll link his channel. And yeah, it was just a bunch of fun. And basically, there's like chalk magic. You draw chalk on the ground. You can draw like a circle around yourself. And someone else who also has chalk magic can draw a circle around themselves. And you have to like break through the other person's circle with aggressive lines of vigor, they're called. They're basically just like wavy lines that you shoot at their circle to try to break through, and you can draw little chalk creatures, and the chalk creatures can go attack the circle. So yeah, very cool. Next, we've got City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett. This one I just finished this morning, actually, and I'll do a full review of this one on Friday, I think. And yeah, I liked it. A lot of good stuff in here. The start is very slow, and it's very political intrigue-ish. And I feel like I need to do a video on political intrigue, because people say political intrigue, and it could mean like assassins, or it could be like courting, romance, arranged marriages between medieval countries for strategic reasons. But this is like espionage, right? We follow around a spy, and that's cool, and the spy like does spy things. And there's a lot of world building, a lot of setup. And early on in the world building, we're basically introduced to a world where the spy is from a very powerful hegemonic country who kind of has colonized a bunch of the world. And this spy is going to a poor country or continent. It's called the continent. And this continent is a place that used to have gods who were powerful and influential, but the hegemonic country killed all those gods, and now they kind of like subjugate the people, and the oppressed people killed one of their oppressors, and this spy is here to figure out, oh, why did this person die? Who killed this person? So yeah, it was almost like a spy book in a fantasy world, but the like magic in this isn't like too in your face. It's not like Mistborn or something, right? And it feels like very real politics and very real fantasy. So yeah, overall, I like that one. The more I think about this one and the more I sit with it, the more I love it. Because earlier on, the themes kind of felt disconnected from like everything else going on, like the gods and the world and characters. Oh man, like the characters were not interesting the first half of this book, but like everything comes together, I would say, in the final third. Something happens right at around the 2/3 way point through the book, and then that just starts making all the dominoes fall. And I might read the second book in this series next month. I don't own it, but because of how much I love this one, I feel like I want to keep going. So yes, City of Stairs, Robert Jackson Bennett. Next, oh man, The Dragon Republic. I said I'd read this in January. I'm going to read it in February, hopefully. Book 2 in the Poppy War trilogy. I won't talk about this one again because I feel like I've talked about it already. And I don't know anything about this, so there's not much more I could say. I did a full review of the Poppy War, which is book 1 in the series by R.F. Kuang, so definitely check that out. Next, we've got book 1, The Black Company, which is Glen Cook's Chronicles of the Black Company. And I think this series has like 10 books maybe, I'm not really sure, but I know in Slowly Red's Discord we're reading all 10, one a month, starting this month. This was month 1. I read the first one, which is called The Black Company, and then I'm reading the second one called Shadows Linger. This book has like the first 3 chronicles of the Black Company, so that's why I've got a bookmark in here. And yes, I use Pringles can tops as bookmarks. Don't judge me, don't at me. And yeah, what did I think about the Black Company? Well, it was alright. It's very strangely written, so and it is very grimdark. So if you don't like grimdark stuff, I would just stay away from this. And I would say this is more grimdark than the First Law trilogy. Trigger warnings for everything. I don't know what your tolerance level is for grimdark stuff. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I'm personally alright with it, sometimes at least. Anyway, the way this is written, it's written in such a weird way. I feel like I'm just going to do my own separate review for this one later this week. It won't be very long. I would say I liked The Black Company, but I didn't love it. I don't know. It was actually kind of average. But because the thing that I bought has the first 3 books in it, I will definitely be reading the first 3 books. Let me give like a 20-second summary here. So basically you follow around this man named Croker, who is like the archivist and the medic for this company of men who is like basically a group of mercenaries, and Croker kind of chronicles their history and what they do and stuff. So it's very much through his lens, his world, and he doesn't do like a whole lot of descriptions on things. Definitely a weird writing style, but check it out if it sounds interesting. And last but not least, boom, book 4 of Lightbringer. Doing my tier list review for all the books I've read since I've been on BookTube. I forgot how much I loved Lightbringer, but when I'm forced to talk about Lightbringer for over 2.5 seconds, I'm like, man, I love Lightbringer. And I actually read the first half of this maybe, and then just hit a huge reading slump. This was maybe a year ago. And I associated my reading slump with this book, which I don't think was fair because I set this book down, but just couldn't pick up any book for a few months. Basically, if you aren't familiar with the Lightbringer series, you can draft colors. And when you draft colors, you get a substance, and those substances can be used for different things. So, if you draft red Luxin, it's flammable, and it's good for, burning stuff down. If you can draft blue and yellow, that's very good for making buildings, or, bridges or other structures. And you can, shoot Luxin at people. Super violet Luxin is actually invisible, so you can make, invisible walls. And yeah, there's just so many applications for the magics in here. Also, the plot twists that Brent Weeks puts in are just amazing. So yeah, I can't wait to get back into this. I also have a conspiracy between this book and the Stormlight Archive, which are different series by different authors. But there's an item in this series that reminds me of an item in Stormlight. And Stormlight has kind of this huge cosmere, which encompasses multiple worlds. So my conspiracy is that this is part of the cosmere that Brandon Sanderson has created. It's one of my best conspiracies. I'm going to try to finish this one, which is book 4, and then book 5 in March. And then hopefully I can just start a new epic fantasy series in April, which will probably be Malice. And I think there's 4 books in that series. So April, Malice, May, Valor, June, and July will be the next 2. And then August, we're going to start the Wheel of Time read-along. And we'll just do 1 book every month. So that'll stretch from August of this year to, probably late next year, since there's 14 books in that series. So that should be fun. That's a lot of big books. Those are my epic fantasy plans for the next year and a half. So yeah, feel free to join in on those. And I'll still be doing the nonfiction book of the months as well. And I'll be picking up book of the months that are not epic fantasy as well. Oh, and I want to pick up some of the High Republic books in February. I don't own any of them, but I will find them and I will read them. So stay tuned for that if you are a Star Wars fan. And yeah, that is everything. I hope I can actually get to half of the stuff that I've put on my TBR. This is a little bit aggressive looking at this pile of books next to me. I know some of it is what I read in January, but still. February is a 28-day month too, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's everything. Like, comment, subscribe, join my Discord, check out all the links in the description. Shelf Space, which was City of Stairs, Slowly Read, David, Alan. Oh, and I completely forgot. I said I would read more classics this year than I did last year, and I read 0 last year. So I have plans to read Oliver Twist with my mom in February, and I can't skip out on that one because my mom will be like, hey, why aren't you reading Oliver Twist? So there could be an Oliver Twist review. I hope you guys are all ready for that. And yeah, that's everything. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time.